All right, let's talk about great things and some bad things. Let's talk about both, because here's what's important. I've discovered this in my 44 years and definitely in my 20 years of being a political person. Well, didn't grow up that way, but about 20 years ago, I started to get political. We should never get too high. We should never get too low. That's generally a very good rule for life anyway, right? But in politics, you get a big win. Trump wins in November. It can be easy to get caught up in the emotions. All our problems are solved. We'll never lose power again. That's not true. And look, Joe Biden steals an election in 2020. The communists take over and they gay the whole country up. We look around and we think this country's officially Sodom and Gomorrah. The world is just going to open up and suck us down into hell. All is lost. That's not really true either. We should talk about the good and the bad. Yesterday was Columbus Day. All right. It's a good day. It's an important day. You honor the people who helped build your nation. You don't sit and nitpick about this and that. But you honor the people who had a hand in laying the foundation for your country. That's a good thing. Donald Trump issued a proclamation declaring it Columbus Day. A very, very good thing. That stuff is not small. That stuff matters. That's culture stuff. Culture stuff is more important than anything else. That's the good news. We have good guidance on that kind of stuff right now. Here's some bad news. We still have a ways to go with the GOP itself. All of them. There's a lot of gunk still we have to clean out. And that's going to take years and years and years and years and years. We like to think that now that we've gotten our heads back on straight and we're doing well, that hey, all these old lame GOPers, the low-T GOP, they're just going to go by the wayside. But no, it takes years to root these people out of power, especially senators. The Senate Majority Leader is John Thune. Yesterday on Columbus Day, he was completely silent about Christopher Columbus. He did come out and put up a social media post honoring Native American Day. Now, Native American Day, to be frank, it is a thing in South Dakota, but read the room, Senator. Read the room. Everyone knows how that would be interpreted. Everyone, of course, except for the low-T, pathetic senator from South Dakota. Red states have to start doing better getting these senators out. I know that's easier said than done. It will take years, but just a little reminder, we have a long way to go. But where could we be? Because look, Donald Trump's president, and in my opinion, has done a pretty dang good job so far. But I realize we can nitpick. It's easy to do so. Look, I've criticized Donald Trump many times before, talking into this camera. You probably have yourself with your family think, I don't like this, I wish you hadn't done this, wish you hadn't said that. Easy to nitpick, and that's fine. You should do that. Don't be a cheerleader. Put the pom-poms down. But let's remember where we could be. Remember last year when Dome went to the camera and talked about Columbus Day?
It is an honor, of course, to be with you this week as we celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day, as we speak truth about our nation's history. Since 1934, every October, the United States has recognized the voyage of the European explorers who first landed on the shores of the Americas. But that is not the whole story. That has never been the whole story. Those explorers ushered in a wave of devastation for tribal nations, perpetrating violence, stealing land, and spreading disease. We must not shy away from this shameful past.
They can't just say, it's a great day, celebrate somebody. They can't ever just celebrate America. And for 4 years, you remember it, for 4 years, those were the people guiding this culture and this country. And it sucked, didn't it? It sucked. But then the country rose up and said, nah, we're done with that. We're done with that. Feel good about that. These people can't really celebrate anything at all. Yesterday, that peace deal, and I've been honest with you about how long I think it's going to last, but still, no matter what, Israel, Hamas, killing each other as fast as possible for 2 years. people being held hostage, starving to death for 2 years. So yesterday, big peace deal, and people are being reunited with their families. Look at, even if it's a peace that lasts for 5 minutes, it's only good. It's not bad at all, but Dome couldn't do it.
I really do hope it becomes real and that the hostages are out, that Gaza is no longer being treated with such brutality of force, that aid goes in.
A lot of folks in your party have called what's happening in Gaza a genocide. Do you agree with that?
I think that, listen, it is a term of law that a court will decide, but I will tell you that when you look at the number of children that have been killed, the number of innocent civilians that have been killed, the refusal to give aid and support, we should all step back and ask this question and be honest about it. Yeah.
So what's going on there besides the normal word salad stuff? Well, here's what's going on. This applies to Dome. It's going to apply to every Democrat across the country. We talked about it a little bit. We talked about it many times before, actually. Their base is so radicalized now in so many different ways that even if you have moderate thoughts, reasonable thoughts as a Democrat politician, you can't because you're afraid of these people.
Legacy is genocide! War criminal!
You know what? I am not president of the United States. You want to go to the White House and talk to him? Then go on and do that.
They're afraid of those people. I'll use this as we wrap it up here because we have so much we have to get to on this show. I know you've probably seen it, probably heard people talking about it, but that Abigail Spanberger, who's trying to be governor of Virginia, she was asked about the men and women sports things. And keep in mind that this is something that pulls 80% in the country. People, not just you and me, people, even normies, independents, they do not want dudes pretending to be women playing against women in sports. This is one of those, it's an easy issue. 80-20, just take the 80 if you're a politician. And Democrats know that too. They know it's an 80-20 issue. They know where they should fall on it. But their base is so demonic, so insane, so obsessed with chopping off people's body parts and this weird sexual demonic garbage. Their base is so obsessed with it, they can't come out and say that. So they have to try to walk this tightrope that can't be walked. Here she was.
Focusing on a K-12 school system, should transgender girls who are biological males be allowed to use girls' bathrooms and play on girls' sports teams? You have 60 seconds.
On issues related to what's happening in our schools and each individual community, I think it's important that we have parents and teachers and administrators making decisions about their individual schools, not politicians.
Once again, the question was, should transgender girls who are biological males be allowed to use girls' bathrooms and play on girls' sports teams in K through 12? You have 15 seconds to clarify.
In cases across Virginia, I think it's incumbent upon parents and educators and administrators in each local community to make decisions locally.
Would you rescind the Youngkin administration policy requiring boys and girls to use bathrooms aligning with their biological sex? You have 30 seconds.
My priority would be to ensure that local communities, importantly parents and teachers and educators, are able to work together to meet the unique needs of each school and each community.
But Ms. Spanberger, the question was, would you rescind the Youngkin administration policy requiring boys and girls to use bathrooms aligning with their biological sex? You have 15 seconds to clarify that question.
Yes. And my answer is that in each local community, decisions should be made between parents and educators and teachers in each community.
I hope you got real used to that answer because you have heard the Rear Admiral, Pete Buttigieg, give that same answer. What happened was Democrats, the communists, got together and they try to figure out an answer that would be the appropriate tightrope walk across the United States of America, mark my words, you will hear over and over and over again from Democrats in the coming years an answer just like that. A word salad thing, but then something that kind of references local control. I mean, it's really out of my hands, up to the parents. People are crazy, but we're winning. Take heart in that. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.